play is so important when it comes to focus. And there's an evolutionary primatologist, Dr. Isabel Bianca, and she just can't understand how schools are squeezing out play more and more, and they're squeezing in more assignments, more homework, more exams. And she's asking the question, but why? What would their objective be? What do you think? What would a school's objective be for squeezing in more assignments, more homework, more exams? What do you think? Performance, yeah, exactly. Yeah, more learning. Want to boost their scores, meet government stats, exactly. So the objective would be to improve their performance, right? But what she says is, if they want children to learn, and that's what they want, right? They should be aware that the evidence is showing that it's actually the other way around. Our brains are more subtle, more plastic, more creative when we've had the opportunity to learn through play, right? So actually, in fact, the primary technology for learning is play. So when a child plays, he really learns the skills that makes it possible to also cope with the unexpected, And if you deprive children of those challenges as they grow up, they will feel panicked and unable to cope a lot of the time. And they don't feel they are competent or can make things happen without all the people always guiding them, So in many cases, this could be adding to some anxiety as well. And of course, if you're anxious, your attention will also suffer, as we've learned earlier. But a very, very good example of this, which I find is fantastic, is how the school systems work in Finland. Has anyone heard about that? Anyone? Maybe you are based in Finland, then you can really share with us. Kim saying yes. Yeah, anyone familiar with the school systems in Finland and how they work? Not exam orientated. Yes, they don't have exams. Yeah, you're right. So yes, not very exam orientated. Kids don't go to school at all. So there's no pre-primary school. They only go to school when they're 7 years old. And before then, they just play. So there's no learning objective. They just play. And then between the ages of 7 and 16, kids arrive at school at 9 a.m. and they leave at 2 p.m. And they're given almost no homework. No homework. So after 2, you're free, and they have almost no tests until they graduate from high school. At the very end, they have some tests. And so free play is really at the beating heart of Finnish kids' lives. And it's even, by law, teachers have to give kids 15 minutes of free play for every 45 minutes of instruction, right? And what's the outcome? You might think, oh gosh, they're never going to learn anything. What's the point? But just coming back to focus specifically, only 0.1% of their kids are diagnosed with attention problems. Almost nothing, right? And we know that in general, Finns are really among the most literate, they're numerate, happy people in the world, right? So it's kind of working. So, the more we play, the better we will be able to focus and pay attention. And we learn much better through play, right? I remember I once watched, a little bit off topic, but Roger Federer, his training session for tennis player, right? And everything it's all about games. He's playing all the time. It's like, it's really, it looks amazing. And, obviously he's one of the best tennis players, was one of the best tennis players in the world, so there really is some merit to that. So, we need to take that into consideration. And, I see so many kids who are really overwhelmed. They're really overwhelmed by the age of 8 or 9 or 10, with all the homework and all the exams and activities, really thinking about, but how often do they still play? And this is not only important to our kids, but also for us, right? Just asking yourself, do you have time to play? And what activities do you see as play? And how can we incorporate more of that into our lives?